Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Teen Meets World with me, Danny Owens, and my dad / co-host, Martin Owens.
Hello!
And today we're going on a nostalgic journey to the 1980s because we're going to talk about many cartoon shows that were made during that decade.
Yeah. And the great thing is, even though that was my era, this wasn't even my idea. This is all you, Danny, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, this will be a good one. There's amazing cartoons in the 80s. And I know everybody says it, but they don't make them like they used to.
So what do you say, folks? Think it's time we went on a little nostalgic trip to talk about those cartoon shows from that decade.
Yeah, what we're going to start with?
Let's start off with the Smurfs.
The Smurfs. We've actually talked about the Smurfs before, haven't we?
Yeah, on our Hanna-Barbera episode.
Yeah, which is coming soon. We've not released that one yet, have we?
Who? Yes.
Yeah. Actually, by the time this comes out, Danny, they would have heard it, so ignore everything I've just said. So, the Smurfs. That's been going around. That's been around for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah. Because you were doing your impression, weren't you?
Oh yeah, like Papa Smurf. What is it, Brainy? Something's going on at in the Smurfberry fields. Oh, Papa Smurf.
You can do Gargamel, though, can't you?
Oh yes, come on, Azriel. It's time to have some fun and get those Smurfs.
Big fan of the Smurfs, Danny. Yeah? You're a big fan, aren't you?
Yeah. I did know it was Hanna-Barbera's only show from the 1980s, along with the Snorks as well.
I thought they had quite a few in the 80s. But anyway, Smurfs, not only did they have the cartoon, but they made a film as well, didn't they? With Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes, the live-action Smurfs film from 2011. It also starred Katy Perry. She does Smurfette's voice.
All right.
It also stars Hank Azaria, a voice actor on The Simpsons. He does Gargamel.
Oh, yeah, he's a bad guy, isn't he?
Other cast includes Fred Armisen, who does Brainy, George Lopez, who does Grouchy, and Anton Yelchin, who does Clumsy. And other cast as well, there's Jeff Foxworthy, who does Handy Smurf, Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
He voices Jokey.
Yeah, I knew he was in it. Did they only do one film?
Yeah, they did a second one in 2013.
Oh, right. Okay, so 2010, 2013.
Yes.
I can't remember if I've seen the second one. Is Neil Patrick Harris in that as well?
Yep.
Ah, right. Oh, I must have done.
Yeah.
We must have watched that together, surely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You tell me. I was about 7 years old when the Smurfs movie came out, and 9 years old when the sequel did. And then when I was 13, starting my teenage years, because no wonder I did a podcast called Teen Meets World. In 2017, when I was 13, they made a CGI Smurfs film with Demi Lovato as Smurfette and Rainn Wilson as Gargamel called Smurfs: The Lost Village.
That's right, yeah. We were talking about Rainn Wilson, weren't we, in the last episode?
Oh, yes, and that film also stars Jack McBrayer as Clumsy and Danny Pudi as Brainy, along with Mandy Patinkin as Papa Smurf, and Joe Manganiello, who came across Pee Wee Herman in Pee Wee's Big Holiday. Speaking of Pee Wee as Jokey, Joe Manganiello voices Hefty Smurf.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, John Manganiello. It's Manganiello. I'm an actor.
Right, let's move on to the next one. This, you know what? Being at school, I can't remember anyone that didn't love the next one.
Oh, yes. Spiderman.
Created by Stan Lee.
Oh, yes. A Marvel comic genius.
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant, though, wasn't it? I mean, how many Spider-Man films have we had since? There's been quite a few, isn't there?
Well, you're there.
Yeah. That was made in the 60s, actually. Wasn't it? Was it created in the 60s? But like the comics, but the cartoons, they're from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Oh, amazing!
Yes.
I remember being a kid and I wanted a Spider-Man costume. I don't think I got one.
Yeah, and I think I wore a Spider-Man costume myself, and yeah, my friend from school and college, Spencer, he had he dressed up as Spider-Man along with his brother Alfie. They both dress up like Spider-Man.
Did he?
Yeah.
I had Spider-Man jammies. I remember that. Oh no! Yes, I did. And slippers. I think you had Spider-Man slippers at one point. Sure you did.
Wow. Yeah.
Can you remember the name of the kid that turns into Spider-Man?
Oh, I know, Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They've
Oh,
even gotten. I know that they've also gotten live action Spider-Man films, like the one that was directed by Sam Raimi and starred Andrew Garfield. Well, wait a minute, Tobey Maguire. That's it. Because
yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking about the 2011 Spider-Man film with Andrew Garfield. There's different kinds of Spider-Mans. Even Tom Holland, my fellow Brit.
Yeah, I like Tom Holland. I wasn't a fan of what's his name? Who's the one you just mentioned?
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him.
Oh,
Bit Weasley, isn't he?
yeah, very Weasley.
Tom Holland's good though.
Yeah, Tom Holland is the perfect modern Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many amazing cartoons from the 80s. What we're going to talk about in the next one?
We've also got He-Man and She-Ra.
Oh, She-Ra. Not Alan Shearer.
He-Man and She-Ra.
Let's make that clear. He-Man did not go into battle with She-Ra.
Yeah, She-Ra's like a sister to He-Man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh God, that was an amazing cartoon.
Yeah, tell me.
And they made a film out of that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, live action one where He-Man is sent to the real world.
Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know, the live action Smurfs movie did something like that too.
Yeah. Can you well, it's Dolph Lundgren who plays He-Man.
Yep.
Can you remember? Do you know this? I don't know if you know this fact, but you know the TV show Friends?
Yeah.
Can you name one of the Friends character, but one of the Friends actor or actress that's in He-Man? One of that group, one of those friends is in Masters of the Universe.
There's Courtney Cox.
Correct!
Nice.
Yeah, it was Courtney Cox. She's in it.
Oh yeah.
Really young. But yeah. Okay, another little quick quiz question. Name the baddie.
I know what it is. I've got the perfect answer. Hey, He-Man, it's me, Skeletor.
Where did he live?
Oh, that's easy. I live in my own kingdom in Castle Grayskull.
Well, I say live. If you say live, that just makes it sound like, Wednesday night he's got his feet up, he's watching Coronation Street. It's not where he lives, is it? It's where he plots. It's where he sort of skirms around, trying to come up with an idea of how to defeat He-Man. He doesn't live there. You're not going to go in and you see him. He's not going to be like cooking or anything, is he?
Yeah, well, not even Coronation Street,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure that's famous on the American side, but definitely watch something like Friends, definitely, since you mentioned Courtney Cox.
That was like one of my favourite cartoons. Yeah. Saturday mornings. Oh,
Yeah.
there was amazing cartoons on a Saturday morning. Well, actually, I'm not mentioning because I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point very soon. But yeah, He-Man was definitely one of the greats.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the power, He-Man.
All right. What was his tiger called?
I don't remember the tiger.
What was it? Not Cringer or something?
Hmm.
And then it turned into Battle Cat. Yeah, like the armor and everything on.
Ooh, yes.
And that little floaty ghost. Was that Orkle? Urkel?
I think so.
Anyway, yeah. Amazing cartoon. It would have been mental if it didn't mention that.
Okay, next up is Inspector Gadget.
Oh, do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this was so good. This was amazing. This cartoon.
Yeah.
And they made a film out of that as well, didn't they?
Yes, a live-action film that featured Matthew Broderick as the title character and Rupert Everett as Dr. Claw.
Yeah. Oh, God, so good.
And since it was 1999, Inspector Gadget was the first ever film to include the Shrek intro All-Star.
Really?
Yeah, and if you didn't know what that is, it was even made into a music video during production of the Ben Stiller film Mystery Men. And then in 2001, it became a Shrek icon, the perfect opening song to the Shrek franchise. And speaking of which, Rupert Everett, who played Dr. Claw in the live-action Inspector Gadget, he went on to play Prince Charming in Shrek 2 and 3.
Oh, right, okay. Well, did not know that, Danny. Yeah, this was so good, yeah. But to be honest, I never watched the live action film. I didn't watch them.
Oh, well, I did. I did get it on DVD at my other house in Dinnington.
Yeah.
And now it's time to talk about another 80s cartoon based off a toy, G.I. Joe.
Oh, G.I. Joe.
Yes, the real American hero.
I didn't realise that you'd watched G.I. Joe.
Well, I've heard about this G.I. Joe stuff and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what can you tell us about G.I. Joe?
Well, it focuses on a real American hero that's actually named G.I. Joe. And let me look in my 80s book and see any information about the cartooner.
I don't think I had a G.I. Joe figure. Because I had little mini action figures.
Yeah, but I can't believe it. They made it into a cartoon.
Yeah.
Just like with He-Man and everything.
Yeah.
They can't believe the 1980s was the best time for toys to be turned into cartoon shows.
Oh, there's so many great cartoons in the 80s.
Yeah, you tell me.
So what else though? I mean, we've got a massive long because we talked about loads that we're gonna bring into today's episode.
Next up is the Transformers.
Oh no, you're talking Transformers, robots in disguise.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good, Danny. Optimus Prime.
Oh yes, Optimus Prime and his arch enemy Megatron.
Yeah, I love this. Did you know? And I don't know if anyone listening to this can remember something that was quite similar to Transformers, called Mask. And it was about these massive trucks, like juggernauts, that were like the heroes, so they came to life. Remember Mask?
Oh yes.
Not Jim Carrey's Mask. Mask. I'll show you. But yeah, similar to Transformers in a way, but I mean, Transformers is so big because they've made in the last sort of 15 years, they've made a few Transformers films, haven't they?
Yeah, live action ones and everything. And also, did you know that Optimus Prime shares the same voice actor as Eeyore for the Winnie the Pooh franchise, and that person is Peter Cullen.
Ooh.
Thank you for pointing that out. And do you know, I know a YouTuber who's my favourite. We both have autism and the same age.
Yeah.
And she comes from the west side of England. I mean the west north side of England, and I'm from the south side of England.
Well, you're from the northeast.
I mean northeast, actually.
Is she from the northwest?
Northwest side of England. That's what I meant.
Who's that?
And that person is Amber Jones, also known as Amber the Fangirl. She's got her own podcast to interview any voice actors, especially ones from the Transformers franchise, and it's called In Conversation with Amber the Fangirl, or for short, In Conversation with ATF. Any of you want to check that out? Then try and look for Amber's channel and just type it in, and then you'll find the podcast.
It's really good as well. We've watched loads of episodes. I didn't know Amber's got autism as well, same as you.
We've both got autism.
Ah, right, cool. Well, yeah, everyone, you should check this out as well because some of the guests that she gets on her show are just unbelievable.
Yeah, like I could name a couple of Amber's guests. They've got on Robin Stevens, the puppeteer for Jim in Rosie and Jim. They got the current voice of Minnie Mouse, Caitlin Robrock. She has on there's a lot of guests. There's the voice of Porky Pig, Bob Bergen, and the voice of I'm trying to think of some guests. There's also David Holt, Amber's fellow Brit voice actor. Yes, a fellow Brit who does Okie Doke and Lavender Castle, Jerry Anson's Lavender Castle and everything. Yeah, and just to name a few of Amber's guests.
Have you ever been in touch with Amber?
Not really, but I like to comment on her shows, see how wonderful they are.
Yeah, they're brilliant. Really
Yes.
good. We've watched loads, haven't we? I know you've watched probably all of them, but we've watched quite a few, haven't we?
Yeah.
They are really good. Honestly, you should give it a go, guys. After you've liked and subscribed to this channel.
Yes, Amber, if you're watching this episode, listen to it.
If you're listening to the show, yeah?
Yes, if you're listening to the show.
Yeah, get in touch. Definitely.
Yes, and you'll be surprised about how we are talking about the show you actually loved and how you got guests from the Transformers world onto your show.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes.
So what are we going to move on to next?
Gem and the Holograms.
Gem and the Holograms? I don't know this.
Well, it's an 80s cartoon featuring a pop singer called Gem. I think that was also based off a toy, similar to Barbie, that is.
I don't remember Gem.
Yes, very obscure.
Oh, very obscure indeed.
Yeah, but let's leave it to this. And we also have Thundercats.
Oh, yes. Oh, now you're talking.
You did bring me a DVD of the original cartoon.
Of course, Danny. Education is the top of my priorities.
Yes.
Of course, you've got a Thundercats DVD. This was amazing. Right, Joe, on a Saturday morning, Granddad used to nip to the shop for us and used to be able to get Thundercats crisps.
Wow.
So I'd get them so I could eat them while I watched the cartoon. And then I'd have my Thundercats sword that's got the eye that lights up that gives you sight beyond sight.
Yeah, sight beyond sight. Oh!
Oh!
No, not her. Oh!
I tried to prolong yours. When you ran out, I tried to carry it on, but I don't think it worked. Yeah. Thundercats was so good, Danny. Do you know what? We need to introduce it to Lee.
Yeah, Thundercats.
Oh, Thundercats.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's an American cartoon, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very American.
Yeah. I think it was like 1985 or mid-80s anyway. That came out 1985, possibly.
1985. That's true.
I knew it. Oh god, I love that so much, that cartoon. But yeah, you've got to watch. There was that was it Panthero? The Panther one. The one that had the sort of blue skin, pointy ears, big muscly guy. Yeah, tough. You don't mess with him. Then you had the Wily Kitties.
Oh yes.
And then you had, what was the little annoying thing that no one really knew what happened to him? Like they've all turned into like muscly action heroes, and then you've got that little orangey yellow cat, Snarf.
Okay, snarf, snarf.
Yeah, him.
Oh, snarf. Yeah. And then we have another 80s cartoon that's based off Jim Henson's The Muppets. Well, in the Muppets film, The Muppets Take Manhattan, when Miss Piggy and Kermit were on a little tour around the park, on a coach, in a coach ride,
Yeah.
they imagined what would have been like if they've known each other when they were only little babies in a nursery. So that's why they came up with a cartoon called The Muppet Babies.
Yeah. Oh, I love this as well. You never ever saw nannies. You only saw up to nannies like calves, didn't you?
Yeah.
Barbara Billingsley played
Yes,
her.
Barbara Billingsley. I know that Muppet Babies, they got a reboot for Disney Junior in 2018, and that was about almost the exact same year when Nanny's voice artist Barbara Billingsley sadly passed away.
Yeah.
And the new Nanny in the reboot, Jenny Slate, does a very good job of doing an alter.
It's strange, isn't it? Because like in The Simpsons, you've got that does Bart's voice. That's a woman, isn't it? Does Bart's voice.
Well, it isn't Nancy Cartwright.
And you've got Katie Lee that did Ralph the dog.
Yes, he did Rolf, Baby Rolf, but
Baby Ralph, should say, yeah.
But Baby Gonzo, she wasn't. I mean, he wasn't voiced by Nancy Cartwright. It was a different Simpsons voice artist, the late Russi Taylor, who used to be the voice of Minnie Mouse before Caitlin Robrock did. The reason why Robrock took over Minnie was when Russi had passed away.
Really?
Rest in peace, Taylor.
Yeah,
You're a good voice of Minnie, but I liked you better as the voice of Baby Gonzo.
Yeah, Gonzo. Gonzo was nuts funny.
Yeah.
Frank Welker.
Yes, the voice of Scooby-Doo himself. He does Kermit and Skeeter, Scooter's twin sister, and Animal, I believe. Or is it Beaker?
What was the guy that did Animal's voice in Muppet Babies? Dave something.
Dave Coulier.
Coulier, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, originally, Baby Animal and Baby Skeeter, they were both voiced by, originally in the first season, possibly, by Howie Mandel, best known for creating Bobby's World and starring as the title character.
Ah, right, okay. Greg Berg, Fozzie.
Yes.
Waka Waka.
Waka Waka, and does Scooter as well.
Yeah. Laurie O'Brien, that was Miss Piggy.
Yeah. Hey, and if anybody wants to check out those interviews from both Katie Lee and Greg Berg, then why don't you listen to them getting interviewed by a Canadian podcast host called James Nobes, who owns a podcast called Nostalgia Talk. And anybody should check out that show as well, because it's got an interview from both Katie and Greg.
Wait, do you know what? I think we watched that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good episode. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely a good episode. You know what we forgot to do at the start of the show again?
What? Oh, yes, John Joe's band.
Yeah, Bedsit Manor.
Bedsit Manor.
Thanks again for the tunes, John Joe.
Yes, John Joe, you were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And now...
Nice beard.
Oh, and now... let's talk about the real Ghostbusters.
Ah, yeah. We've touched on this in previous episodes, haven't we?
Yeah,
how could we not, Danny? How could we not?
Yeah, it's a Halloween. Yeah, it was from the Halloween episode earlier.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yes, it did get a... well, it was a live-action film originally before it became a cartoon, and Slimer joined in the gang.
I always wanted one of the costumes. The gear, the backpack, everything. I remember having the car. That was amazing, and the station house.
Yes.
In fact, you had the station house as well.
Oh,
you got it for Christmas once.
Wow, yeah. Next up is another cartoon, an 80s cartoon. It's more British than American, like other usual cartoons of the 1980s, and that is Super Ted.
Oh, Super Ted! Yes, I remember Super Ted. And what was his friend called
That is easy. It's me, Spotty.
Spotty. What about the bad guy?
Oh yes, takes his Pete.
Yeah, oh god, I remember that. I remember reading once that originally was like a character, an animation for like schools. It was
Yeah,
like an educational sort of thing. And then they made it into a cartoon. I think it's Welsh as well. I think it's Welsh.
yeah, very well. Just like with Fireman Sam and everything.
Yeah, what's the little boy called in Fireman Sam?
Norman Price.
Is that you and your man?
But anyway, yes, Fireman Sam did come out in 1987. But let's talk about the only Welsh show that we're going to talk about in the episode.
What, Super Ted?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about Super Ted. Yeah, oh, that was such a good cartoon.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
It has got a good voice cast in it. There's Derek Rhythms, best known for presenting Play School. He does the voice of the title character.
Yeah.
John Pertwee, best known for being Doctor Who and Wurzel Gummidge. He voices Spotty.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Victor Spinetti, who's best known for being a hotel waiter in an episode of Bottom. He does the voice of Texas Pete. And then we have his two henchmen, Skeleton, who's voiced by Melvin Hayes, and Bulk,
Bulk. Yeah, that was in Bulk.
who's voiced by Roy Kinnear, who also stars in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory as Mr. Salt.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Your bonkers Wonka.
That's one of the best lines. I can't help but say that all the time.
Yeah.
You bonkers Wonka. What was I going to say there?
What is it, Dad?
Oh, it's gone now. It's gone. But yeah, that. Oh, Danny, you just gave us a right blast of the past there.
Yeah.
No wonder this is called Teen Meets World Nostalgia Talk.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very nostalgic now, son.
Yeah. And then we have the Care Bears.
Care Bears. I remember it, but I never really watched the Care Bears.
Yeah, there's mostly the cuddly toys and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. Well, obviously I remember it, but it wasn't really something I watched.
Yes. And then we have 3 Disney afternoon shows. Well, yes, there are 3 80s cartoons that's made by Disney, and it's called the Disney Afternoon, and it shows 3 cartoons from the 1980s that were owned by Disney, most notably The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and DuckTales.
Oh, DuckTales.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, I love the DuckTales. Yeah. I think I had I'm sure it was a DuckTales like computer game.
Whoa, yeah, you tell me.
Yeah. It was I think it got as far as like the first 2 minutes into the first level and then it just crashed.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming soon. Maybe, Danny.
Maybe. Just maybe.
Just maybe.
Yes. Yeah. I know about DuckTales. I also know about its film, Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Yeah. Uncle Scrooge in that.
Yeah, voiced by the late Alan Young, along with, once again, Russi Taylor, who voices his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then you have the Gummy Bears, which does feature the voice talent of the original voice of Tigger, Paul Winchell, Rocky the Flying Squirrel herself, June Frey, as well as Lorenzo Music, the voice of Garfield.
Oh yeah, we've talked about Lorenzo, haven't we?
And Baby Roll from the Muppet Babies herself, Katie Lee.
Yeah,
She's also in the voice cast of Gummy Bears.
Yeah.
And then you have Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, focusing on the Chipmunks from the Mickey Mouse franchise as Rescue Rangers, alongside Zipper, a little fly called Zipper, as well as 2 mice called Monterey Jack and Gadget Hackwrench. I know that this series got a live-action movie that got released in 2022, but was more of a sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
that was a good film though. We're not talking about that today, though, so I'll
Yeah.
zip it. I won't talk about any more about that.
Okay. And yes, we also have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Yes.
I know we've mentioned this before, but that
Yeah.
was so good. Did you have a favourite turtle? Who was it?
Yeah, I like Michelangelo.
He's the one with the orange sort of headband, isn't he?
Yes, cowabunga, dude.
My favourite was Leonardo.
Who,
with the
yes.
sword. He had the blue sort of headgear.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, and it did get a live-action film with costumes done by the Jim Henson Creature Shop, who also did the costumes for Jim Henson's Dinosaurs, the
Yeah.
Country Bears movie, and Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the dinosaurs. That was 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, very 90s.
Right, we'll leave that for another episode then.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
Who knows? And yes, it was also that series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was also known as in the UK, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah. Turtles in a Half Shell.
Turtle Power. Yeah, that name change for UK audiences, Hero Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be there because of mostly with nunchucks being dangerous to youngsters, or something like that.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Anyways, next we have Garfield and Friends.
Garfield.
That Garfield show was based off the comic strip by a guy named Jim Davis, who started this comic in 1978.
Still going.
Yeah.
Also, it's CGI now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, with a CGI reboot back in 2008 called The Garfield Show. And Garfield, since Lorenzo Music had passed away, then became voiced by Scooby-Doo himself, Frank Welker, as I said before, with the Muppet Babies and Real Ghostbusters.
Come on, Danny. You got to give us at least one impression of Garfield before we move on to the next one.
Okay. Haven't you ever watched my live-action film as well with Bill Murray as me? He might be a good actor himself, but not as good as me. I'm the best cartoon star that ever lived. Right, Odie? And pass me, Lasagna John. Coming right up, Garfield. And now it's time to move on to Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was well. The Chipmunks were created by a guy named Ross Bagazarian. He decided to make albums that featured himself as Dave Seville, and he could even make his voice high pitch, and that is why he invented three singing chipmunks called Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. And then a cartoon in the 60s was made called The Alvin Show. But when Ross sadly passed away, the roles of the chipmunks and Dave were given to Ross Bagazarian Jr., his son.
Class.
Yes, so there's the 1980s cartoon with Ross Bagazarian Jr. He only takes over as Dave, Alvin, and Simon, and Theodore was voiced by Bagazarian Jr.'s wife, Janice Carmen, who created the Chipettes.
Chipettes?
Yeah, that's right. That series even got 4 live-action movies, like the first one in 2007, The Squeakquel in 2009, Chipwrecked in 2011, and finally The Road Chip in 2015, and that was the exact same year as the cartoon's reboot on Nickelodeon.
Wowzers. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and we did an episode on Nickelodeon, didn't we, last week?
Yeah. Well, the Nicktoons in general.
Nicktoons in general.
And then we move on to, yes, we're talking about another 80s show featuring talking rodents, Mighty Mouse.
Did you like Mighty Mouse?
Well, I think I came across Mighty Mouse on a comic strip or something.
Yeah, little flying mouse, little red cape, yellow costume.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember him. Remember that guy.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Do you know what? I think the comic of that was like really, really old.
Very old.
50s, 60s or something, but
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse, yeah, God.
Yes. And then we have raccoons.
Oh, I love the raccoons.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was very good.
Do you remember the characters?
Oh, well, yes.
Remember what the bad guy was called? Cyril Sneer.
Yes, Cyril Sneer.
And he had a nephew, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, Cedric, that was it. His nephew was
Cedric.
called Cedric. I absolutely loved this cartoon. Raccoon.
Ooh, yes.
You remember, don't you? You must have watched Raccoons. I'm sure we watched it.
Oh,
I
yes.
must have introduced it to you.
Well, yeah. Then there's Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons was amazing. Absolutely
Mm.
amazing. And I'm sure Katie Lee does a voice in Dungeons and Dragons, you know.
Well, Katie Lee, as mentioned already.
Yeah, she does Sheila. Sheila the Thief.
Oh, yes. And, yes, not to mention Frank Welker as well, and Peter Cullen, once again mentioning him.
Yeah, yeah. You got Tom Morse as well. He does Eric the Cavalier.
Yes.
Some big names there in the
Yeah.
voice acting world.
Yes, the
Heavyweights.
1980s voice acting were
Yeah.
like the best veteran voice artists of all time.
That's right. Peter Cullen, Wenger.
Yes.
That was so good, that cartoon. I feel like I'm forgetting some. What about Dogtanian? Was that in the 80s or was that 90s?
I'm sure it was the 1980s. It's 80s anime.
Yeah. Oh, I know we probably didn't mention that earlier on, did we? Dogtanian, but that was such a good cartoon.
Yeah, you tell me. With
Yeah.
the three Muskehounds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Oh, do you know what? I could just watch an episode of that.
Whoa, me too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I loved it.
Yeah, you tell me.
So what's next?
Then there's Brave Star.
Oh, Brave Star, Danny! Pulled it right out of the bag there. That was a great shout, that. Brave Star. Do you know, it was quite a crazy cartoon, you know, because Brave Star, the hero in this, um, he's a Native American.
Oh yeah.
He's a marshal. And it's where the Wild West meets space.
Yes.
So it's sort of mixed between that and I'm sure the place is called New Texas or Texas. New Texas, I think it is. Now, Brave Star, the Native American,
Yes.
he's got his own powers. So a bit like the beliefs of Native Americans, he's got, let me think. So he's got the strength of a bear,
Yeah.
speed of a puma, eyesight of a hawk, and the hearing of a wolf, or is it the eyesight of a... Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, eyesight of a hawk and hearing of a wolf. So he's got all these strengths. And the bad guy who he's up against is Tex Hex.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Honestly, have you seen that before? The cartoon?
No, I haven't.
Right, we're watching it. So how did you do it? Just in your research, you just came up with Brave Star from what you were looking through.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Danny, you've just sent us right back to my childhood there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. And then we have another British cartoon from the 1980s,
Ooh, what is it now?
The Raggy Dolls.
Oh, Raggy Dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, this cartoon was narrated by Neil Innes, who worked on the last season of Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Ah, right.
Neil also got to do the theme song.
Oh, Danny, it was so good. Neil Innes. Oh, Innes. Innes. Neil Innes.
Yeah, he did do the Raggy Dolls. Yeah, he narrated the show and got to do the entire characters' voices, like Mr. Grimes, the boss of the toy factory, and it's got
What about the characters though, Danny? Who did we have?
mm,
What ragdoll? Do you remember the names? I know quite a few of the names, but I can't remember all of them.
well, we have Sad Sack, Dottie, Hi-Fi, Lucy,
Back to front.
yes, and Claude as well,
Of course, Claude.
and Princess,
Yeah, yeah. Ragamuffin.
and yes, Muffin, yes,
That was so good.
yeah.
I am really enjoying this. I enjoy all our shows, but this is like really taking us back here. You've done your research, Danny.
Yeah, and then we have two other British cartoons that were both made by Cosgrove Hall, and it's called Count Duckula.
Count Duckula. David Jason.
Yeah, David Jason, aka Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah, yeah. Or Granville. Open all hours. Count Duckula. Oh, that was so good. Yeah. Nanny Poos. She's the one in the sling that's always like sort of running after.
Oh yes. Oh, Ducky Poos.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely love that cartoon. We're going through some classics here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and there's Danger Mouse as well. David Jason, he does the voice of the title character in that show as well.
He does, yeah. Who does Penfold?
I don't know, but
I can't remember who that was.
well, I do know David Jason who does Danger Mouse's voice. There's also Edward Kelsey who does the voice of Baron Greenback, the villain of
Oh yeah,
Baron Greenback, as well as Colonel K.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this was an amazing cartoon on its day, you know.
And yes, yeah, very good. It also got a 2015 reboot.
Oh, they brought it back, didn't they?
Yeah, with Alexander Armstrong now voicing the title character, and other cast including as well as Stephen Fry and many others, and Kevin Eldon as well.
Kevin Eldon, oh, he's brilliant, him. Kevin Eldon. Yeah, amazing, that.
Yes. And then you have Dreamstone, another British cartoon from the 80s.
I don't remember that one. Who told you about that one again? We talked to Tony about that one.
Yes.
Yeah. And there was Sharky and George.
Yeah, and Sharky and George.
Yeah. Yeah, they were was Sharky and George 80s?
I'm sure.
I thought that was 90s, you know. Sharky and George. But either way, great cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if it is an 80s show.
I think it's 90s, you know. I'm sure it is.
Oh, I think that was from 1990.
Right, okay. Well, there you go, look. Sharky and George, 1990. Just misses out on the episode.
Oh, yes.
Can't talk about that.
Yeah, but luckily we can talk about Dreamstone.
Was Dreamstone in the 80s?
That's right.
What about Nightmare? Remember Nightmare? You won't know Nightmare, will you? Oh, we'll forget about Nightmare. We'll talk about that another time. Dreamstone. Was that an animation?
Yes.
It was an animated series, yeah. 1990 again.
Oh, right.
Get out of here.
Guess I think that means it's all the 80s shows we've talked about.
Yeah, we're not talking about any more. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the 1980s shows that we've got for today.
That was brilliant. I hope everyone enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more episodes coming out of them, and then we're going to be doing the Christmas special.
Yes.
Got to do a Christmas special, haven't we?
Yeah.
As soon as we get in December, we'll start that.
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, I've really enjoyed that, and I'll say it before I forget. you're going to hear Bedsit Manor playing at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
You should check him out on Spotify, you know.
Yes, you better check him out. He's the man.
Bedsit Manor.
Yes, Bedsit Manor.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the man.
Yeah.
Right, well, Danny, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I think that's all the 1980s cartoons we've had for today.
Yeah, I think we covered it, didn't we?
Yes.
So, I tell you what, we squeezed in a lot of amazing 80s cartoons there, you know.
Yeah, good ones.
Right, well, that's it from me. It'd be nice if people could maybe share this episode, share the link, leave us a comment, let us know if there was any 80s classics that you know of that we may have missed, or if you want to elaborate on anything or share any interesting facts, put them in the comments.
Yes.
And like the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope you've all enjoyed yourself, and we sure hope we have too.
Well, I have.
Yeah, so that's all from me, and that's all from him.
You've been watching Two Ronnies.
Yeah. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye now.
See ya.
Till next time.
Till next time, indeed.